Benet, located in Kween district in eastern Uganda, is a serene and picturesque hill that welcomes you with a soothing breeze. This lush greenland has been home to generations of the resilient Sabian people who originally lived in the forest of Mount Elgon before they were resettled by the Uganda government in 1983.
The government in 1983 allocated land to this community. The purpose of bringing them down was to develop this community, because up there was no infrastructure for school, there were no medical facilities, there were no road networks. So government thought it better to bring these people downwards so that they can settle like any other community in Uganda, which was a very good idea.
Most members of the Benet community currently derive their livelihoods from subsistence farming and grazing in this area. It is a bumper harvest for 36-year-old David Chamutsa on these chilly hills of Yatui village in the outskirts of Kwasil sub-county. David has been farming on this land for years.
ActionAid Kiko galet ngale gamparani jimte jiwete shonagi jiwi gobijinagi jiwi priasinagi jiwi babale ago roshek kunyora roshek ago en bagiye teksanya dabon.
But when Uganda Wildlife Authority threatened to evict them from their land after it had been declared a game reserve, David stared at a bleak future.
Kidani magastam biga ActionAid le do yes. Gemagaste am gidanya magastam biga ActionAid taklik tene kapasa singalle tagu tachena mngale tagu bori biga gorit.
Although on the ground government has not done what it has always promised to do, we have however been able to engage at various levels over the issue of the Benet land rights. And what I can single out as what has happened is that at least government has accepted at last that Akelawua encroached into the land which was for the Benet community.
Even as progress is being made to permanently allocate the contested Benet land to the indigenous people, some temporary settlements still face looming evictions by Uganda Wildlife Authority.
I recall very well Janet Mukwaya that wrote a very promising letter, resettled them temporarily for 6 months, and thereafter government looks for a permanent solution. By the end of 6 months, we could have had a lasting solution. The 6 months now has turned to be 12 years, no solution. The options that are available that community suggests that now, since we've been here for the last 30 years, can the government also degassette the same land? And we will not have any problem.
Due to the continued land rights abuse and other injustices in the community, ActionAid International Uganda, with funding from the Netherlands Ministry of Foreign Affairs, started implementing Fair, Green and Global Project 2 in 2016.
The overall objective of FGG 2 has been enhancing corporate accountability in Uganda. For this project, we've been focusing on 3 thematic areas or themes. The first one, we've been looking at land rights, specifically women land rights. The second one, we've been looking at progressive revenue and taxation in Uganda. Then the third one, we've been looking at human rights defenders, whereby we've been looking at human rights violations on the project.
The organization sensitized the communities about their rights, providing legal aid support and spearheading dialogues with authorities, both at national and district levels.
ActionAid has run this project not alone. We've partnered with Action Alliance. Specifically, Action Alliance has been helping us with a theme on land rights. And then under the legal work that we've been doing, especially supporting communities under public interest litigation, we've been working with LapsNet that have been helping us with the legal cases, and then NetPeer.
The Fair Green Global was intended to strengthen corporate governance and accountability, focusing on issues of human rights, making state and non-state actors accountable in the way they do business and in the way they ensure that human rights are put at the forefront. And one of our role, of course, was to undertake a research, to do some kind of findings to see how is human rights and corporate accountability in Uganda.
Just like in Benet and many other areas in this distant Apaa community in northern Uganda, has not survived the ever-increasing land injustices in the country. After the community returned from internally displaced people's camps after the LRA insurgency, they found some powerful individuals had reclaimed the land.
The actual definition of the status of that area now is confused within the jurisdictions of either being a wildlife reserve, a national forest authority area, or any other form of holding. Because of that confused jurisdiction, these other interests, the economic and political interests, have found space to immerse itself and create the sense of confusion that we see in Apaa. Unfortunately, it is the people who live there who have suffered all along.
We are not yet free. A lot of violent words have been given us by the Wildlife Authority, the UPDF, or the security forces. With some of them, we have them in the recordings, and some of their activities have been tapped in the videos, and some have been captured as pictures, and we are ready to avail it anywhere needed.
Helen experienced this firsthand in 2009. Her house in Acholi Bell was razed down and crops destroyed after Uganda Wildlife Authority claimed that the community was living in a game reserve. Helen was left destitute with her grandchildren until ActionAid came to their rescue.
Apaa ngom kwaro mapeke kwanyu peke wilu ngarmo po bolwani I wilu ngom kwaro mono mi tiene ke ngarmone ni mala kuoni.
We have made some strides in supporting the people of Apaa. First of all, as I said, that was a community, our own struggle. They started the struggle. And so when we came in, we just supported the community of Apaa in, first of all, letting them know their rights. We did a land rights campaign where we told them about the land rights. We told them about the land acquisition processes in case government is interested in the land, but also the broader aspects of human rights.
Many times, the government, multinational investors, and powerful individuals perpetuate land injustices. The discovery of oil in the Bunyoro region had left many residents fighting for their basic rights.
Albertine, for instance, with the discovery of oil, we have seen a number of families being displaced and a number of human rights abuses in that part of the country.
I'm among those people who didn't receive house. We are 73. Out of 73, they only built 46 houses. Out of 46 houses, 27 didn't receive. Right now, the rest all remain that side.
Women had issues on the service delivery. This came as a result of women identifying the issue of inadequate space in maternity wards in almost the whole Bulisa district, in every health centers, be it Bulisa Health Center 4, Kigwera Health Center 3, that we are lacking now, Kigwera Health Center 3, which was Health Center 2, but it was upgraded to Health Center 3.
And we're overwhelmed by the numbers that attend here. Antenatal care at about 450 to 500 mothers a month, deliveries of 90 to 100 a month, and the young children who come to attend the young child clinic every Thursday, which is a big day. Also quite many, about 70 to 80. So through different community interruptions and with dialogues with the focus group discussions with women around, we got to know about solidarity and border, who came out and said they can do something. Most interestingly, the maternity space, which was very small, to attend to the overwhelming numbers who come in for maternity services, whether antenatal care or delivery or postnatal care. And this tent is there. We are using it. Actually, it has helped us to detach a few mothers.
Like in all other cases of land grabbing, the process of eviction is often very traumatizing, and many people, especially women and children, find it difficult to recover.
In our Leptong, for instance, we had the issues of the land where some individuals in the names of developers wanted to actually take close to like 4 square kilometers of land that belonged to the local community in the name of constructing a private university.
The history of the land can be traced back to 1986, when the land was given by the community of Kaweri for doing cattle business. Then when the cattle business stopped, the community who gave the land decided to get back the what? The land. So at the moment, the land belongs to the community because it was not bought, it was given free of charge for cattle businesses, which later on stopped.
Iaria para biro. Alonyo moro en atedonyo. Wana do po nudum. Tiu kelo grade tionyo kan kidi policy tionyo kan. Tunu mere ente chunko kanu. Tenu ngini jodo pera mangwai. Te pio ko ping te yutu duru iching policy achiela po yo policy no luoni Joshua. Te gambo duru te chako chielo malo. Shu joke ni gire tengwai. Eta an pangwa shuginte makai akina dana chiel yo amonu tieni tushi. Te mak wan ja para chiel. Yatero wa CPS.
Gopa poti kod. Dokopi kod ya tek. Bala wana bedo sian. Opera ka che kidi moro. Eka na machiel Jackson la nyiro konyo wa ocholo wa pilida. Da wana pogi ye. Eka mena Maria wano to chole koma. Adango shara jamu tuma kwa dushu. Tamwa wane group nyine wanja mo pulo usia. Tamwa tieni. Wuni konyo wa wunu. Imoy wa kirango amira wa doka ilo wasia.
In 2001, over 4,000 people lost their livelihoods and turned to ActionAid for assistance, following several failed attempts to seek legal redress when the Uganda government evicted them from their homes in Madudu sub-county in Mubende district to pave way for a coffee farm.
The government knows for sure that when they evict us forcefully, we shall go to court. And we should know that it is the government itself which also controls the courts. So the government will have the mandate to delay our case in court for 30 years. Such that by the end of the 30 years, those ones, the big-headed ones among us, will have died off, and the case will die in natural death. That is the RDC. He was speaking in Uganda and he was a Muganda. I am also a Muganda. So we had the same language.
ActionAid provided legal assistance and facilitation for the evicted communities.
Right now we've done our part. We went to Kaweri Coffee, we talked to them, we advised them, we gave them the advantages, the merits of settlement vis-a-vis going for trial, the risks involved in both situations, and then we asked, who of you are willing to settle? The ones who are willing to settle, they came forth.
The organization also mediated dialogues that have seen this decade-long standoff getting close to being resolved.
After partnering with ActionAid, we felt that we were almost being born again, because during eviction, it was really a tough story to mention. And we are as if we didn't have anybody caring about us. The way brutality we are evicted, you could not expect that some organization, somebody like ActionAid could come to our side, to our rescue.
In partnership with organizations like Siatini, ActionAid has also helped in reinforcing government efforts to improve its tax base through tax education and awareness of citizens to pay their taxes and demand for accountability for revenue generated.
Our main role in the FGG project was basically centered around ensuring that everyone pays their fair share of taxes. So we've done quite a lot of work around double taxation agreements. We've trained the CSOs to understand the clauses within some of these double taxation agreements, specifically Netherlands and Mauritius, and for them to ably engage with government for it to take steps to renegotiate, but also ensure that the clauses adopted in these treaties are fair, are inclusive, and also protect Uganda's taxing rights.
As the implementation of the FGG2 enters its final stage, there are evident efforts in place to enable the project to become self-sustaining. These include the ability of communities to demand for rights on their own.
If we keep building people's capacities in the communities, we shall be able to have the communities fight back for their rights, both at the local level, at the district level, at the national level, and even at international level. That's what we pledge as ActionAid.